Alright, so this is not going to be a very in-depth cast or anything like that. I really just kind of wanted to examine the way that Baltune handles sort of a feudal-heavy style with Malians. And I think that to call it aggressive is... I don't really know that Malians necessarily quote-unquote go like aggressive intentionally a lot of times. It's more that like they go heavy feudal play out of necessity because everyone is going to try to punish, you know, their pit mine. They're going to want to punish the cattle ranch production, stuff like that. And yeah, it turns out Malians actually can do really well by going this style. And the most common thing that I see is from Demu or Baltune or, you know, lots of players is you go 2 houses or 4 houses instead of the full 6 houses. And then you go on to sheep as much as possible. Once you get the wood that you need for that, because you're automatically getting free gold, right? So you actually can have really good timing on your feudal. That only means that you have to be a little more conservative with your scout here, so you have to drop off sheep sooner. And you know, if you're only doing 2 houses, then you have to drop off sheep even sooner. So yeah, something to think about. So his scouting pattern was pretty, you know, it was pretty conservative. He's actually got 5 on the age up here, which I mean, you can see Delhi is just now starting theirs, I think, and is going with the classic 4. So his timing is gonna be pretty fast. And then he does the thing where you just leave 4 on the food and put the rest on the wood. Looks like he's got another guy gonna start finally on more houses here. And it's going pretty good so far. Yeah, I mean he's only you know, above halfway done. He's gonna be done while the Delhi's still teching up. So Malians can go really fast into feudal actually. And he's gonna prioritize these straggler trees because he's using his wood on his pit mine and stuff. He's prioritizing the straggler trees so much that, like, you know, it was kind of like awkward. They were kind of walking around, which it seems like a mistake, but at the same time, he's really trying to get this up as fast as possible. Actually opening an early mill. And this allows him to automatically start cranking cattle for himself. So no cattle ranch. He's just like giving cattle to his villagers. So that way he doesn't have to go on these external food sources like the deer or the boar or whatever. He can just kind of safely get these 500 resource cows. Seems really good. That's something I've actually never done, but he even goes 2 mills here to allow him to do that, which would transition nicely whenever you do finally want to do cattle ranches. But yeah, he's got his Donzos popping out. He's upgraded them. He's got an archery range coming now. And just like super heavy onto wood. You know, he has enough kind of on food, I would say. Like he's got 11 or so on food, so that way he can pump these units and pump villagers. But that's the benefit of, and I mean, you can see the timing is super nice here. He's just got 2 Donzos for 2 Gazis. And I'm guessing he kind of assumed that he was going to go for the blacksmith opening. Like, maybe that's the most common thing he saw that a lot of players were doing. Because especially against Malians, like, if you know they're not going to have map control, then people like to go for the blacksmith openings. Because getting the upgrades in soon just feels really good. And yeah, he's going to go for some walls. Really good walls. It secures this part of the map. It protects kind of his wood line a little bit to where he only has to worry about this little angle, which the TC fire covers, so he's got a nice setup here. Yeah, just adding another barracks, adding a blacksmith now, and yeah, he's purely relying on these cattle that he produces for his food. You do have to be careful with how you like rally point it, because the villagers can kind of trip up on themselves if they're too stacked. So ideally you would have these 2 going to different spots so that the villagers are kind of split up, but yeah, it's like an optimization thing. Prioritizing iron undermesh because the javelins have like really good base damage. It makes sense, right? He's got 4 actually mining gold on top of all of this. So he's got plenty of gold income to produce the cows for his food. And yeah, it's a pretty good opener. I'm not going to go too much in depth into the rest of the game. Like, he does win this game, and there's a lot more to it, but I think this is in general sort of the feudal style that I've seen from players, and then you kind of slowly just like add on your cattle ranches in preparation for the cow boom later on. So pretty interesting. I was interested in this myself, so I decided to make a quick video on it. So thanks for checking it out.